I feel like there are very few games that are underrated as this one, and I've heard some really dumb criticism of this game that don't give it enough credit for how much it's pushed forward virtual reality as a platform. And I'm not saying that lightly. For those who aren't in the VR community, and this is the first time even hearing about this game, you probably don't understand why this game is so special, and where do I even start? The idea of full physics VR was basically pioneered by the guys over at Stress Level Zero, and it set the bar for virtual reality, and my lord did it set it high. If you ask a VR enthusiast what games are laying the groundwork for VR as a platform, I can guarantee Boneworks will be up there alongside games like Half-Life Alyx, Pavlov, and VR Chat. What makes Boneworks special is not that it tells a good story or has relatable characters, no. The single reason this game is so special is because of its unmatched ability to make you feel like a badass because of how good it is at immersing the player. To be completely honest, if Boneworks was on desktop, it would be incredibly mediocre. But once you add the headset, the entire game becomes so much more. Alright, now that the lengthy introduction's out of the way, let's get to the actual game. Be aware that this area of the video will be quite spoilery for Boneworks and Stress Level Zero's other game, Duck Season, so if you want to experience these games for yourself, then I recommend skipping to this timestamp. Still here? Alright, let's get to it. The story begins with this cutscene. Pay attention to this guy, Arthur Ford, an employee of a company called Monogon. He's taking this bad boy into what seems to be a server. The flash drive has a logo on it, which you might recognize if you played the game Duck Season. That fucking game. And then he takes out this headset, which has a CPU glued to it for some reason. And then he jacks in. You begin actually playing the game in the break room, which is a nice way for you to learn the basic mechanics of the game on your own, like force grabbing and regular grabbing. You'll see this. My vibe has just been checked. You then get sent to this trippy-ass portal, which brings you to the hands-down the coolest tutorial maps of any game, VR or otherwise. The Museum of Technical Demonstration. The whole aesthetic and feel of this level alone shows you how the whole game is going to feel and look, with its industrial art style with pops of color. Well, most of the game at least. The museum has 2 tracks alone, which are pure air candy thanks to Michael Wukov. One's actually called The Museum, and Analog Sunrise. Anyway, you see some exhibits, take a zipline, get some gains, do some parkour, and learn that switching to your secondary is faster than reloading. But then you see this. Yeah, an exhibit, I guess, of this thing in the Stress Level Zero metaverse called a void. It's kind of complicated, but the simplest way I can describe it is a space outside time and reality that has harnessable energy that is used to power Monogon's Mythos City through the Boneworks, which is yet another level of reality. Oh yeah, it also has these things. Anyway, next level. Broing the Squeaks. You drop into a dumpster, which is a familiar sight to most people who watch my videos, and are surrounded by these guys who are just taking a nice little nap. Until... Ooh. One, two... Oh no. No. Hey, it was an accident. It was an Hello? Hey, you alive? No. It's only later in the mission that you get any context from this dude, Hayes. He tells you to restart the clock, and that becomes your mission. Let me rephrase that. That becomes the player's mission, not Ford's. Remember when Ford stuck that flash drive to the server at the beginning? That's completely killed MythOS, and stopped anybody else from logging in. And you might ask yourself, why would he want to do this? Well, it's kind of because he's the kid from Duck Season after the canon ending left orphaned, and knowing that the void creatures that come from it, so he's kind of trying to make himself a part of it through the Boneworks of myth. Remember at the beginning where I mentioned that the void lies beyond time and space? That means if Ford went through the void, he'd be able to become immortal and a time traveler, which is the widely accepted theory that the dog from Duck Season is Ford, going back in time to try to stop this whole mess from starting. and to stop Monogon from discovering the void in the first place. Alrighty, that was kind of boring, and I kind of sound like MapPad there, but you kind of get the gist of the campaign, right? Now, this is not nearly a comprehensive review of the story. I did not cover most of the things, like especially the end, but I still want you to experience some parts of the game for yourself. Hello to the people who did not want to get spoiled. Alright, moving on. You might have noticed these little slots in the wall. Well, you can use blocky boys and stick them in the slots to get other parts of the game, like sandbox maps or arenas. At the time of making this video, there are only two arenas you can actually use, Zombies and the Fantasy Arena. Now the only way you can describe these two are Survival from Modern Warfare and Zombies from Black Ops. It's pretty self-explanatory, but you came here for a review of the entire game, so if you click off, you're gonna get lynched. Damn straight. Alright, let's start with the classic arena. You unlock this after completing the campaign, and it's basically just survival. You can pick from an array of weapons, and I mean this is almost as good as my basement. Rifles, handguns, swords, whatever the hell this is, you name it. You probably use it. Choose difficulty and step into the arena. Ever just wanted to punch somebody in the face? Because this is scarily therapeutic, or just proving to myself that I'm a psychopath, but you know, you want something to do something. If you want an objective instead of just mindless murder, and I don't know why you want anything else, there's an option for challenges, doing stuff like ascending Pornoman or using a different form of murder weapon each round. Alrighty, you guys get the idea. Weapons, enemies, don't die. Let's move on to the cooler arena. This is the most panic-inducing shit-your-pants game mode of anything in this game. This is actually the newest game mode, and it came out last summer. And all I have to say is, Stress Level Zero, where in the ever-living fuck is my next update? It has been 6 months. What the fuck? Anyway, in the Zombies mode, you can pick a loadout, which is odd, but I mean, at least it's not game-breaking like some games I can mention. Once you actually have a decent objective, with these different game modes aside from dying or doing whatever the hell this is. Lockout, where all the doors are locked, you have to buy batteries with your ammunition to get to different parts of the map. There's the Cure, we have to retrieve batteries to power a machine that cures the zombies. There's Blazing Blunts, where you don't get guns, and Survival, where you get the fucking idea. Alrighty, you get the first sandbox maps called Museum and Blank Box about midway through the first level, and the game uses a cool mechanic to get items into the sandbox. You see these bad boys, then campaign missions? Eat your items into there from the mission, then come back to the sandbox, and there you go. Now, Blank Box is pretty fun. Same with Museum Basement, has this thing, but it's not nearly the end of sandbox. You also automatically get this sandbox map called the Redacted Chamber, and my god, shit get real fast. You can see that your objective is to open this door. Do this, bring this shit down, shoot some shit, bing bang boom, you get the door open. Behind it, there's a few head crabs, but there's this door you'll recognize if you play the campaign. So you go through it, don't press the stand button, jump down and you're back where you came from. I don't know if this has to do with a void thing, but it just happens. I think you have to go through the door about 4 or 5 times with more and more enemies before you get this. A blocky boy and a new handgun. Now if you go back to the menu, you can play yet another sandbox called the Handgun Range. But you don't get the handgun range automatically. You have to complete this mission, which I mean, it's cool. But what you get from it is way better. Because once you finish this mission, you get this. It's fucking awesome, and once you finish it, you get the final sandbox, Tuscany. Which I'm going to be honest is probably the most fun. Beat somebody with a melon. Melon Musk. And that's Boneworks. I really just want to thank SLZ for making this gem of a game. You can go watch what they do over at Node, and I'll have some links in the description, so go check them out. Alrighty, I'm on page 5 of the script, and I want to go to bed. Eat. Shit. Eat. Okay, hello, this is the end card. So I caught Corona. I'm doing alright, just my voice kind of hurts a little bit. Shit, what else? There's something else I gotta say. Oh, yes! Thank you to the people who helped me over at on Discord and on Reddit. Thank you to those guys. And yeah, be safe.